John,
Yes.
have you ever had a tweet that's gotten several thousand interactions?
Uh, there was one time, it didn't get 1,000 interactions, but there was one time that, Arc System Works was tweeting about, like, I don't know, they were tweeting about, like, fucking, like, Ram Lethal feet or something like that.
Oh, no.
And they were just being, like, stupid and weirdly horny on main, and I tweeted at them, I was like, hey, like, maybe you should actually, like, tweet about the community-run events that people are, like, doing all the time, instead of just posting, like, weirdly horny tweets to like, what's the word I'm looking for? To, like, cater to, like, you know, the weirdest part of the community.
Yeah.
Like, and then all these people were mad, like, oh, they do tweet about events, and they were retweeting, like they were quote tweeting
Arc
me.
Revo stuff?
Yeah, Arc Revo stuff. And I'm like, yeah, of course they're gonna fucking tweet about Arc Revo. And then I responded to a guy, I was like, dude, like, you know, Team Spooky holds NOBC every single week, day in, day out. He supports the freaking community, and, like, I never hear a peep of it from Arxis. And then, like, they're just out here trying to, like, talk to the weird kids at, like, you know,
at the table. Yeah. It's fucking that's a bit weird.
Yeah,
That's
that
not
wasn't
good
several
engagement.
thousand interact. Yeah.
Oh god, could you imagine?
Now I'm scared about. Did you get several thousand interactions?
So, John and I have a mutual friend. Some of you may know them. Jeremy Scott2 Network, the premier ska music YouTuber.
Insanely talented.
Super talented. If you have, like, a cursory, like, interest in ska, or even if you're not interested in ska, even if you hate ska, I would tell you to maybe check it out, because they do, like, ska covers of, like, several different kinds of songs, like, even if well, like, pop or not. Anyways, I've been, like, sharing a couple of TikToks with them, because my TikTok algorithm is a little weird, where, like, I get a lot of wacky shit, a lot of, like, political shit, and, like, I'm clearly, like, some hellspawn, but there was, like, one TikTok that, like, it's an earworm. It's stuck in my head, because it's literally, like, exactly the kind of music that I fucking love. And so, while talking to Jeremy about it, I went on my Twitter, and I was like, hey, I have a confession. I need band recommendations that sound exactly like this TikTok. And now, John, I'm gonna send you this TikTok.
Oh no!
And I'll play it right now.
Making chortle in my kitchen. All alone. Stir the chortle while I'm singing in my phone.
I see a guitar and, like, a drum, and I'm like, all right. And then I see someone stirring pasta, and a dude is just screaming at me. What is going on? What is going on?
So I posted this, and because our mutual friend Jeremy, sweetheart that they are, is, like,
because they're Omega famous online.
Yeah, they're like, online micro celebrity. Just the reply, and it already, like, blew up for, like, by my scale, like, 20 interactions or something. That I'm like, already like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, I'm like, oh shit, this is more than I expected. I have, like, 300 retweets, several quote tweets. The video's been watched more times than it has likes on TikTok, and I feel kind of bad about that. Loads of likes. And then, but, like, I'm out of my depth here, And like the good thing is now I have loads of fucking music recommendations. But there's like, I shit you not, every hour on the hour,
the voices won't stop.
They won't stop, but the worst thing is like every hour on the hour, someone will fucking suggest Dance Gavin Dance. And like
Oh no.
Like they don't
Nothing
sound like
Dance
this.
Gavin Dance, but like yeah. They sound nothing like that.
And so like it's just like I'm going through like a bunch of bands that are like, oh, like a couple that I've heard, like Brave Little Abacus or Daughtry, or not Daughtry, fucking Daughters.
Yeah.
Ugh, Jesus fucking Christ. Not Daughtry. But like the one of the first replies I got was like Under Oath, and I'm like, no. That's not it. I know that.
Oh shit. The guy in the video who's doing the screamo responded.
Did he? I can't see where.
Oh
hey, that's me screaming.
Yeah, and I go to his page, and it's him. He has the same hoodie and everything.
Oh,
and he's actually hella talented. Damn, hold up.
Oh shit, that's really funny.
This is wild. You've been, whether you like it or not, we started a war with the Cabal. Whether you like it or not. If you know anything about Destiny memes, you'll get that one. If not, it just sounds like I'm like
if
saying
not, don't worry
shit.
about it.
Yeah, whether you wanted it or not, Jeremy, they thrusted you into this life, whether you wanted it or not.
Dude, I mean, like, this is really inside baseball. You, listener, will not understand until way later. But, John, this is just the precursor to things that will happen.
Oh, no.
Like, the cogs are moving a little bit.
The cogs have begun to move.
But I swear to God, if someone else tells me it's Dance Gavin Dance...
Yo, shoutouts to Dance Gavin Dance, TBH.
Look, okay, I lived under a rock for a long... I only listened to, like, Van Halen until, like, 11th grade or something. Like, it's very... Like, nothing against Van Halen. Well, some things against Van Halen. But, like, just that, what the fuck was I thinking? I literally, like, listened to the Black Parade for the first time, like, 2 years ago or something because of Adri.
Shit.
Yeah, no, so, like, I listened to Dance Gavin Dance for the first time, last night in bed, because Adri was like, why the fuck are people saying Dance Gavin Dance? And I'm like, I don't know. Let's check it out. I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. But it's missing the... making tortellinis.
It would be perfect without if it just had the tortellinis.
And like things that I'm checking right now, like people are getting a lot of aspects of it, but they're only getting like the screaming. They're either missing the twinkly guitar, or they're missing specifically the tone of the voice of the guy making tortellinis. Yeah,
they're trying to, you know, life imitates art, but it's you know, you can't. They're just barely missing it, right? Like they're on the cusp. They're on the cusp of greatness.
But you know, it's kind of one of those things where like, if you go up to bat, you're gonna miss a couple of times. So Jeremy interacting with this has inadvertently made it so that like I'm gonna get a lot of people like missing at bat, but I am gonna find some shit that I've never heard of, and that's worth something.
Hell yes.
But that's been my night. We're not a music podcast yet, and this time I say that very seriously. We are Paramecia Fancast, a One Piece fancast where we review the latest chapter of One Piece and have a different One Piece related discussion every single week. My name is Franz.
My name is John, and holy shit, this chapter.
Hey, this chapter is just
This week
fucking-
of Jump was fucking good.
dude. Literally 2 minutes ago, fucking dance, Gavin, dance. Fuck.
Literally 2 minutes ago. It's not gonna stop. Dance, Gavin, dance. Oh, God.
God, this chapter, anyways.
Chapter 1023, Dance, Gavin, dance. Would you look at
Shut
that?
the fuck up. No.
The Dance, Gavin, dance singularity.
I'm just being sucked in.
Oh, God, no, but Chapter 1023, Spitting Image, which, it's such a good title in, like, multiple different ways. But
Dude, there's so much.
it's so good. We get the cover request, the reader request, which is Vivi singing with sparrows while Karoo looks on with jealousy by Ari. And I love Vivi, but I also really like this. I hope that this was like intentional on Oda because he
I'm
knew.
thinking so.
Yeah, because this week at Jump, if you guys haven't read this week's Jump, there is a... Oh, I'm forgetting the author's name. I don't want to be rude. Hold on. There is
Shit.
another One Piece, like, special chapter that was illustrated by a guest author. Like, Boichi did the Zoro versus
Mihawk.
Mihawk fight. And this one is by Naoshi Komi, the author of Nisekoi. And it's Vivi's Adventure. And it says chapter 216, Vivi's Adventure, and the cover page looks like a volume of One Piece cover, and I really like that. But it's just so good. It's so well done. It's like the ending of Alabasta, Vivi like contemplating like whether to leave with the Straw Hats or not, or stay in the country, and Bonk lays like sacrifice for them. Like, it's just such a good chapter, and it ends with the epic Alabasta raise your fist in the air with the X moment, and I'm like, oh, so good.
Dude, it's so cool that this is happening because like these chapters deserve to be immortalized.
Yeah, like getting some of these, like, oh man, a lot of these early chapters that are so good. Like, I hope that this becomes more than 2 times trend. I hope it becomes like, oh, like, yeah, you're a guest author, you could just redo your favorite One Piece chapter. Like,
Yeah, I think
or like
what we're gonna
redo your
see,
favorite moment of One Piece. Like,
Yeah, what we're gonna see is like, especially like, because like Nisekoi finished a bit ago, and the author's not doing anything right now. I don't think. This is an assumption. I might be wrong.
I checked on, at least according to Wikipedia. Yeah, I know. I use Wikipedia as a primary source. Yeah, whatever. It said that the latest work they had done was started in 2018, and I don't know if it's still going, but...
Oh, okay. So, I don't know. I feel like it'll be like authors or illustrators, because like Boichi's not an author. Well,
yeah.
technically, there was that like side story for Dr. Stone.
Yeah.
But it'll be people that have a bit more time on their hands. Like, I would love to see Horikoshi from Boku no Hero do something like this, but I don't see it happening because that man is so fucking busy that he's just like he's stressed all the time.
Yeah, I would love to see Horikoshi. I'd love, I'm a simp for Kubo, but I'd love to see Kubo take on like an insane like One Piece fight. Like, if Kubo drew Kaku versus Zoro and he drew like his version of Asura mode, like that would go nuts.
Be nuts.
I would go absolutely nuts.
The only requirement I have is like, please God, draw backgrounds. Because like
no backgrounds, only the heart.
Fuck you.
Only the heart.
But all that in consideration, all that excitement, this chapter was like super cool too.
Yeah, so good. We start straight into it. Zoro and Sanji standing there after they just double teamed King and Queen, and I like how you could see Queen's like dino foot sticking out of the smoke, and they're like,
I
Zoro
didn't
Juro.
notice.
Yeah, they're like Zorojuro, Sangoro, like they're back. And oh man, I love it. Like everyone's just surprised, like, oh, like Chopper says it, like, oh, like, or no, it's not Chopper, it's is it Tristan? No, Tristan's the girl that Tristan is Chopper's like wife.
Is it
Manabi?
Yagi? Or I don't know.
Miyagi.
Miyagi, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so, because like in my brain, I just like I'm like, oh, it's Yagi, because Yagi is sheep in Japanese.
That makes sense. But Miyagi's like, oh, like I'm more worried about what happens later, and I'm like, oh shit. As long as he can hold out for this fight, but
dude, Zoro could take it, because like,
yeah,
remember when oh my god. Not Bartolomeo. What's his fucking name? The Bautista.
Bartolomeo Kuma.
Yeah. Okay. When he just walked up Zoro, and like Zoro was just standing in his own giant pool of blood.
Yeah, that is scientifically impossible.
Yeah.
No one has that much blood except Zoro. Oh god, yeah. But some of the beast pirates try to like target them, and I like this where Kappa Boy, our little Kawamatsu Kappa Boy, he like slices the guys like, stay out of this, and all the Yakuza bosses under Hyogoro are like, oh, like Yakuza bosses, like, do not attempt to help out in this duel. And they're all like, no, like, they're lead performers. Like, what? He's like, no one should approach this fight. He's like, see that look on their faces? They don't want any interruptions. And I'm like, yeah! Oh, it's so good.
It's just all so exciting. And, like, all the while, Marco is, like, he's on the fucking edge. He's, like, he's got one foot in the grave, and he's just having a hallucination. Not a flashback, a hallucination.
Yeah,
he's staring at King, and he hears Whitebeard say, oh, like, wait,
I think
sorry,
he says to Whitebeard.
Yeah, he says to Whitebeard, what do you mean? Atop the red line is Mary Joie. Oh, I'm talking long before that. From what I hear, there used to be a land of gods up there. And like, the hallucination ends, like, oh, you're not talking like the pops I know. And it's just him, like, laughing it off.
And Izo, like, tackles Marco and, like, shoots the guy. And Izo's like, dude, like, wake up. We're in the middle of a battle. And stupid Marco, he's like, hey, just waiting for you to save me. He's, like, limping in Izo's arms. Oh, so good.
It really is. But, like, it's not the end of that, too. Because, we get a bit of, like, Queen just like, oh, like, did you think you could stand a chance again? We didn't feel nothing, blah, blah, blah. Like, he goes on about, like, oh, drought, plague, wildfire, we're the three calamities that protect Kaido. We're the lead performers because nobody gets better than us. And the one important thing before, like, the sweet morsel of, like, lore is, Sanji starts complaining, like Zoro notices that something's up with Sanji, because Sanji gives a little oof.
Yeah. Oof. He gives a little little roadblocks. Oof. Yeah. Yeah, because when Mario in Mario 64 runs into a
and then, you know, Sanji says, oh, I don't know, ever since I put the second time I put on the raid suit, my body feels a little off. Zoro gives him a little, like, oh, don't drag me down. But what's weird is, like,
yeah,
I didn't say it felt bad, just weird. Like,
yeah, I wonder. I mean, we'll get into it a little bit later, because Queen starts mouthing off about it. Actually, I think right now.
And it might might be related, but I don't know.
And I do love, he's like, I didn't say it felt bad, just weird. And, and Zoro's like, what, your eyebrow? And he's like, my body, you idiot. And oh god, right as that's happening, King just swings his blade and Zoro blocks it. He's like, oh, you owe me. Like, there's your one. You owe me. And Queen tries to attack Zoro. And really fast action, like Sanji swoops to the other side and kicks the little arm. Or no, that's his hair. He kicks his like hair grappling hook, and he's like, "Oh, now we're even." And then Queen, because we know Queen was part of the science group with Vegapunk and Judge.
Yeah.
And Queen starts going off. He's like, "Mwahaha! Hey, Judge's son, I hear all of you kids are cyborgs. He's a certified man. Is that burning leg of yours a machine part?" And he's like, I love the stance by Sanji too. That stance is so cool for no reason. Every time he goes into that stance, I'm like, dude, yes. But he's like, sorry, pal, I'm all human.
But like, I'm not gonna lie, him bringing this up, I was just like, I'd never thought about it.
Yeah. It's weird because he's like, oh, like, sorry, pal, I'm all human. And then, well, I'll finish the page and I'll bring up my point because this part is the part that's like, we should probably delve a little bit into this. He's like, does a human burn like that? I know you ain't a Lunarian. And immediately we see King glare over with a little ellipses at Queen. And I'm like, Lunarian? Is that's the race of people atop the red wall?
Yeah, like, he just, like, up and fucking said it. And, like, hold on. Our homegrown meme maker, farm-raised organic, Spandaman on our Discord, just put up a JPEG of the fucking moon with the text over it, surprise bitch, bet you thought you'd seen the last of me. And, dude, I'll admit, it was like 1 a.m. for me. That's usually when the chapter comes out. I was playing Final Fantasy 14, and I'm like going through the Discord. I see that. I'm like, oh, the chapter's out. Oh, fuck.
Oh, the chapter's out. Oh, fuck.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
So good. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, so like that's probably the race of people that like King is the last of. But I'm like, Lunarian, like the root word is lunar, like the moon, like what is going on up there? Is Y-Man up there for all my Dr. Stoneheads?
Ooh, Dr. Stonehead's got a real nice flavor to it.
Yeah, it's got a nice. Hold on, I'm a Stonehead.
But
or Dr. Stoners.
That's really good. Fucking like not to get like too deep into it, but like there's the whole like, okay, gods, the fucking celestial dragons, they wear helmets like they're fucking like astronauts or some shit. And then there's the whole like they're on the moon, the fucking hieroglyphs, but also fucking I'm just like saying things, but I swear there's like a brief connection. And Nell wanted to go to Moon because Moon is special. Moon is special for the fucking Skypians. Skypians have wings. Lunarians have wings, but bigger. Skypians descend from Lunarians? ?
Oh, maybe.
Like, I will admit.
I mean, also, like,
it's fucking. This is out there.
Fuck, because he says, because Whitebeard even said, like, oh, like, from what I hear, used to be the land of gods up there. And it's like, you know, we just got the reveal of the sun god, like Nika, and it's like the sun and moon, like, maybe the sun god Nika was another race that was up there
Maybe.
in the land of gods, like maybe the original version of him or something like that.
Right. And like I don't believe that, like, I don't want to get into, like, okay, I am straw manning here, but when it comes to, like, the One Piece community, unfortunately, like, if you make up a guy that says a theory, that guy's just fucking real. So there's definitely going to be someone out there saying, like, the people with the Will of D descend from these Lunarians. Someone's going to say that, right?
Yeah, either the Lunarians or the Sun God, like one of those.
Right. Like the through path is like Lunarian have wing, Sun God kind of have wing, also like Sun, Moon, therefore like Will of D like descends from that. I don't think that that's the case.
Yeah.
That the through line is like through like the Lunarians, but I don't know. It's just all. This is a very interesting tidbit for Oda to drop
In the middle of a fight, no less.
like,
What? Yeah, it's really good. It just, this kind of stuff, the lore drops we're getting right now, just like make me realize even more that like, oh, we're like Act 3 is not over yet. Like every time I think it's coming to a conclusion, like it just Oda zags when I think he's gonna zig, in good ways. But I'm like, oh my god, like how much more? How much more can I take?
yeah, he can't keep doing this to us.
Oh god, but I do love, Queen casually brings up the Lunarians, and I love that Sanji doubles down with the SBS answer, the original SBS answer that Oda gave as to why he could, like, his leg could, like, light on fire. And he's like, I do. The heat of my passion surpasses the temperature of flame. And I'm good at cooking up sea beasts, dinosaur. And he's like, let me show you the power of a cyborg. Even Vegapunk can't create, kid. And they start going at it.
Oh, dude. It's real cool. This fucking just wheel kick into it. I fucking love it.
I wonder, my question on this, because he talks about like, oh, like Germa, like Judge turned all of his kids into cyborgs. Like, are you part machine? And he's like, oh, like, sorry, I'm all human. And we know that because in Whole Cake Island, like, the flashback confirmed that, like,
he got no juice.
Yeah, she took the poison, and the poison that Sora took, Sanji's mother, it only affected Sanji. Like, it stopped whatever process was, like, genetically enhancing them or whatever.
Right.
But, like, so they're, like, genetically enhanced, but they're also part machine, ? Because, I mean, Queen says it here, but also, like, we saw Sanji beat the ever-living crap out of Yonji, and then Yonji, like, put his head into a hydraulic press, and his head was, like, fine. Like, Sanji deformed it, and then he puts his head under a hydraulic press, and then he's like, oh, yeah, I'm fine. I just had to ding the dents out. And I'm like, dents? What? You know
the answer, like, deep in your heart.
So, like, if my thing is, if they're, I don't know if this is maybe too many levels too deep, but we know that they're genetically enhanced.
Yeah.
And at least the other ones are part machine in some capacity, or at least Yonji is. Yes. But, like, maybe did the raid suit, like, it's either,
son?
Yeah, it's either, at first I thought maybe, like, oh shit, the raid suit, like, hurts him, like, as he uses it, because he's not part, like, fucked up, like, he's not genetically modified like Germa. But I'm thinking, what if maybe this whole thing means that he is, and the raid suit, like, activated that.
Activated his almonds.
Yeah, what if the raid suit just activated the dormant almonds that were inside of him the whole time?
Something like maybe, that could also, yeah.
Because he grew up like a normal human at a normal pace. Like, it showed, like, Yonji and Niji and all them growing up, like, they were literally adults in like 2 days. Like some asshole at the end of this chapter. But like they just grew up in like 2 days, and Sanji, you know, took a whole 20-something years to grow up. So it's like, maybe? I tend to agree that like the fire is not part of the genetic like thing. Like he's just able to do that because he's fucking...
Because it's anime.
Yeah, because the heat of his passion surpasses the temperature of flame. But I do wonder if the lead up to this sort of offhand, like, oh, it just makes me feel weird. Like, what if this is like the raid suit gives him kind of like Enma with Zoro? Like it just sort of gives him like this passive like power boost that he needed.
It may be.
Because like with Enma, Zoro's able to like, I mean, we've seen it. He's able to like like he's able to use very concentrated amounts of haki to like slash through mountains.
Yeah.
And it's like, what if it's the same sort of thing with Sanji, but like the raid suit is giving his body like a sort of power up?
The only thing is, I don't think Sanji would want that. I don't think Sanji would want to turn into a cyborg.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it'd be... If it is the case that it's like nanomachines or like activated almonds, I think like the end result of this would be going to Chopper and being like, take it out, Doc.
Take it out. What? Sanji bites a spoon and holds his arm on the take it out.
Remove these almonds.
Yeah.
We move on to the other fight going on here. Zoro versus King. And literally the first block that King gets on Zoro's attacks, Zoro's swords get fucking stuck on... They're not even serrated. They're just like straight notched.
It's it's literally like the like an evolved form of Kenpachi's Zanpakuto that's all messed up.
Yeah, it's some fucked up shit. But like,
it's a comb.
Yes, it's literally a comb. It's a giant metal fucking comb.
Do you remember? Okay, like, God, this is gonna be just hang on for the ride. Do you remember in Jimmy Neutron, the kid, the cool kid, like Carlos or whatever his name was?
His name was Nick.
Okay, well,
get your fucking lore right first.
Okay, well, he looks Hispanic, all right? Fucking so sue me. But Nick, he's like a greaser. And there's an episode where he pulls out a switchblade. And then when he pulls it out, it's a comb. That's literally... He has a comb on the front of his sword.
It's that, but reversed. He pulls out a sword, but turns out it's a fucking comb.
It's so ridiculous, but he flings away Zoro's swords.
Yeah, because they get caught on that, and then, like, he uses that momentum to just fucking punch Zoro in the fucking face.
He tosses the other two swords, like, in the air, and Zoro blocks it with he blocks the fist with Wado Ichimonji in his mouth, and he's just like, I see, a killer machine, huh? Do you need a school or style in order to fight? That's what, I think that's what King is saying.
Yeah, it is.
And then, Zoro's like, nope, good point. And you never called yourself a swordsman. Do as you like. Who knows? By the end of this, I might be tearing your throat out with my teeth. Anything to ensure I win this fight, as he catches, Enma. And, man, you thought the lore was over. You fools. You absolute fools.
We get more, and it's not even the end.
Yeah, it's not even the end.
Fucking Kawamatsu's just watching this happen. And he's like, hey, Hyogoro, when Hiyori told me that, she was gonna give him Enma, I couldn't stop her. Like, I don't know why. I couldn't stop her. And Hyogoro's just like,
yeah, he's like, there was a reason I couldn't stop her. Like,
Hyogoro's just like, yeah, dude, a pirate from across the sea, but he is the spitting image of Shimotsuki Ushimaru, daimyo of Ringo in his youth. And, like, the last time we saw it was a silhouette, right?
I believe so, but like you could still make out like the facial like features. But now we're seeing like the full non-silhouetted version of it, and that's Zoro.
It's just Zoro, and like, Kawamatsu's just like, yeah, and even the sword style is the same, which like. There ain't no fucking way. Because no one taught Zoro to be that much of a fucking idiot and put a sword in his mouth. No one taught him that.
Yeah. He literally, like, he tried to use, like, 20 sword style, and he had, like, 5 in his mouth, like, 2 in each hand or some dumb, like...
yeah, it was some dumb shit like that.
God, but Lord Ushimaru is a descendant of Shimotsuki Ryuma, the god of the blade. Add the fact that he returned Shusui to Wano, and I cannot help but feel that fate is at work. Especially when you consider that Ryuma was also a one-eyed samurai, and it's like, what? Like,
what a fucking, like, revelation. But at the same time, like, were we, like, really supposed to know that? Because, like, he had, like, kind of a bandage over one eye. He also didn't have eyes. So... Yeah,
he was also a zombie when we saw him, so...
Like, it makes sense, but it's also like... were we supposed to catch
Monster,
that?
And, you know, in Monster, he had both eyes. So, you know... maybe this happened after all that, but...
Yeah, we could say that.
Man, I just think, like, this Battle of Wano is shaping up to be, like, so freaking cool. Like, Zoro just being completely unaware of, like, his heritage. And just like I had asked for, not giving a shit, because he's like, I want Big Sword. Me kill you, Lunarian.
Did we also have his fucking last name before this chapter?
Shimatsu... Yeah, the Shimotsuki clan, I know.
No, for Ryuma specifically.
Oh, no. I don't think we knew that Ryuma was a Shimotsuki. Because they always just called him Ryuma, like the legendary god of the blade Ryuma.
Right. Okay.
They always mentioned him as his title, but they never mentioned, like, his name, which is... It's cool to know that like, you know, he was, like... Ushimaru, the daimyo of Ringo was a descendant of Ryuma. Like, that whole area is, like, where the shrine for Shusui was. Like, that whole area is just, like, Ryuma's.
Yeah, it's just all starting to make fucking sense.
Yeah. Like, we're getting this with Zoro. Like, Sanji's coming face to face with, like, Queen, who worked with his father and Vegapunk.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, like, what's about to happen at the final part of this chapter. Like,
Dude.
Which let's just get into it. Let's just get to it, because treasure room, 2nd floor, we cut to, and like, quick, help Jack. Don't let them get past. And Jack is like in full mammoth form, and he's like, I know you can't go any longer. Sleep, king of the day. I forgive your country for going into ruin to uphold the lie about the samurai. And Odie is just like, if we handed over Raizo to die, we would be so ashamed. And he it shows Jack swinging down with his trunk, and Odie grabs the trunk, and he's like, we would never have come back to Wano. Every single day since the death of Odin was another day closer to this moment of reckoning. And he like AEW, like, shoulder chucks an entire mammoth out the window.
Dude, it ain't just a fucking judo toss, it's some other fuking shit. This is the next level.
And we get another flashback to main point to also see is that he judo throws an entire mammoth judo throws Jack out the window, and on the floor under the onomatopoeia you could see Ashura Doji's body, which is very important to what's about to happen.
Yeah.
Because we get a flashback, and it's, Inoarashi Odie is like, I swear to God, I know no Raizo. If such a man is here, I will cut my belly, and, like, just getting tortured and, you know, all that shit that Jack did. And he's like, for 20 years I asked myself, are you still a samurai of Lord Odin? And we just see Jack's eyes, like, how? How did you turn Sulong? And he's just like, there's a hole in the roof. And it's Asura's explosion made a hole in the roof, and they're able to go Sulong again.
And, like...
It's... And Odie Sulong is so sick, but the speech, or the thing,
his speech, yeah.
His speech that he gives, like, we would let a city of 1,000 years fall to ensure that we reached this decisive battle. Only by winning this fight, whatever the cost, will dawn come to the world. Like, yo.
I'm so into it. And like, all the while, like, exact same time, too, outside of the Skull Dome, at the front entrance, we get fucking Perospero on the floor, and the whole time Odie's given a speech at the same time. If not for Pedro, Luffy's gang would have never made this far, and this raid would have ended in failure. And fucking Wanda and... Oh my god.
Wanda and Carrot.
I almost said Chopper.
Yeah,
Oh,
Wanda
no.
and Chopper. Chopper's hot.
I'm racist.
Oh no! This is what got one dose of Dance Gavin Dance, and this is what happens.
God damn.
Oh god, no. It's Garfield.
It's Garfield, Gorsh. And the moon's shining again. No clouds in the way. He says, I hope you're watching, Pedro. Have a drink if you got one. And Perospero's just like peeing and shitting and pooping his so long. Dude, and what he calls Perospero, you lick spittle. This is the last moon you'll ever see. Oh, I fucking love that.
Lick spittle. Oh, I love it. Oh man, lick spittle, dude. Oh, it's so good. I hope to God. Again, I've said it again, I'll say it again. I want like a full ass, like, seinen chapter of Perospero just getting ripped in half in the most brutal way possible. And then they can go back to just regular. Like,
yeah, that's it. Just
and then turn the page and Luffy's
quick.
like picking his nose. Like, that's all I want. But we get another fight, castle second floor, and it's back to Fukurakuju, freaking Kiadi Mundi, fighting with Raizo. And he's like, what a joke you ghosts are. With Odin dead, you're reduced to following a child. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Don't mock youth, you fool. We were no one before he raised us into samurai. You see, everyone grows in life, and Wano itself will watch over Lord Momonosuke's growth. We won't let the likes of you steal it. Immediate cut. Tokage port in Udon. What? What is he doing here? It's Kaido. Do we have to fight him right now?
Dude, I like pissed my pants.
Yeah, yeah. When I first saw this, I was like, oh shit, like, did Kaido jump down? Like, did Kaido go after them? But no, you turn the page, double page spread, Luffy in front of a giant ass dragon that looks just like Kaido, but the color is like white instead of the shaded in, like, because Kaido is blue, so his color was like shaded in. This one is white. I want to see this in the anime, this scene so bad, because it's Momo.
Yeah.
And even Luffy is like looking at him, and he remembers when he first saw Momo, and he's like, I'm not your morsel of food. I'll devour you whole before you take a bite of me. Step back. And he's like a little baby dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, is that you, Momo? And we just get, indeed.
Oh, dude.
And, it's the same kid? What does this mean? By Lord Momonosuke's request, he is now age 28. And Luffy's like, you can do that? Why are you crying? And she's like, because. And this part got me. It's like, my lord, you look just like. And we see like his body like shaded in. Oh,
dude, it's so emotional. Like, it's so understandable. Like, in the one hand, she didn't want to do this, but now that she did it, like, she's face to face with basically Odin again.
To see the son of Odin, like she aged up Momo, and to see the son of Odin like age up to look exactly like Odin, like, oh, that's so good. Come on, Momo, let's take back Wano. And he's like, right. And it just, chapter ends. But I want to see this in the anime.
For sure.
Because I want to see, I know that they're going to do this moment so good. But also, I hope to God that Momo's adult voice actor is the same guy that did Odin.
That'd be really cool. It'd be
like
really
that.
cool.
It'd be so cool to hear when he talks to Luffy, to hear Odin's voice, and like I know they'll intercut a flashback of like, Shinobu remembering Lord Odin. Like, oh man,
dude, there's like so much going on. One thing I want to highlight, as exciting as this is in a certain like in the certain like narrative points of like inheritance, it's like really exciting. But one thing I want to point out is someone on our Discord, Sharp, pointed out that there's like a good degree of like tragedy in that, like, Momo's arc up until now, and it's something that we've discussed a lot, has just been plain fucking depressing. It's been 2 to 3 months since his fucking dad died. He watched his whole fucking town burn down. Like, that's something that we've, stated ad nauseum. But on top of that, like, we can assume that Shinobu's ability does not work in reverse. Yeah. So he's been effectively robbed of his childhood.
Symbolically and literally now.
Yeah.
He was already robbed of his childhood, like thrust into this, into this war 20 years in the future, like on literally as soon as he plopped back into the timeline 20 years later, he's immediately on the run because Kaido like is trying to kill him. And like all of the events that have led up to this, him like running and hiding and like, and now just, being for like, they mean well, like the retainers, they're like, oh, like he's gonna become the ruler of Wano, but it is like, dude, like he's a child.
Yeah.
Like again, we've said it so many times, but it's like, shit, dude. Like Sharp even said, like it's a tragedy. Like it's cool, but at the same time, it's like, man, like the shit that he had to give up for this is like, oh, man.
It's too much of a sacrifice to like put on a child, and like, it's the kind of thing that like, even when we were hoping that he would like ascend to the throne or whatnot, we were like, you and I, we were always assuming that like someone would be with him, that Kinemon would be with him, but that's not an option anymore. Like, Kinemon's out of the picture, unfortunately, and so we're just here left with him. Like, we've been told that he is like mentally still like fucking 8 years old or whatever the fuck. It might have been less than that actually, but
no, I think he was 8.
Like, mentally he's still 8 years old.
Yeah.
So like, just because he's 28, just because he's like, Lord Odin's son, doesn't mean that he is like the apt ruler. And so I'm just I don't know, like, I'm torn. I completely like understand and agree with like what Sharp's saying.
It's sad. I wonder if this is going to be like if there would be any way for it. Like, the only way I could think of him to like get back to childhood would literally be through Jewelry Bonnie. That's the only way I can think of, because she can like actually like freely manipulate people's ages.
Can she do that to others, or
only
to herself?
She could do it to others, because there was I forget
that's how she fights.
when it was. Yeah, there was, she like grappled onto a marine and she turned him into like a baby, and they were like, what the fuck? And it was just a baby like in the clothes of this battlefield.
Yeah, I believe someone else on our Discord brought up like, oh, this would be a cool time to see Bonnie like come in, because that's kind of the only way around this.
Because it all ties back. For me, I could see it as a possibility, but it all comes back to what I refer to as the Wano Great Unknown. Because like I said before, Act 3, it seems like it might be coming to an end this time, like for real. Like I think whenever he stops the Onigashima from falling, whatever the conclusion to that moment like is, or like that fight or that scenario, I think that will be the end of Act 3. But then like there's gonna be a couple more acts, so in my head I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen after any of that. And that's the part that I'm like, because I don't know. I kind of gave up with the way the direction the story was going. I was like, okay, maybe, because I thought originally that like all of the supernova were gonna end up on Wano.
Right.
That doesn't seem to be the case. It could be, maybe.
No,
but,
yeah, like those words have not left our mouths in quite a bit.
Yeah. The way the story's been going, I've just been kind of like, like, probably won't happen. It was a cool thought, but like I have Stampede to see all 12 Supernova go ham.
Exactly.
But like there still is like Bonnie. The last time we saw her was she was in Marijoa with Kuma, and like Kuma could still just slap her away and like send her to Wano. Like that, it's plausible for her to get anywhere in the world at this point because Kuma's there.
Right. It's just like a matter of like motivation or reason to do so.
Yeah. And like I don't know. That's the only way I could see, but even then it's like it just gets into like, sort of headcanon-y ways the story could play out in my head, but like if she does manage to get there like by the end of this arc, I wonder if like the choice will be given to Momo, like, do you want your childhood back? Like,
right.
You could rule. I mean, I guess it just depends on how the story plays out, because it's like he might not have any of the retainers left, and it's like, well, do you want to live your life as a child, or like, do you want to just go from here?
Right.
At least where the story is right now, I think I would like to see some stuff with Momo in the next couple chapters, like sort of at least mentioning this, like mentioning the decision he made, like, okay, like the sort of finality of it, I guess. Like, yeah, I have to live with this. Like, I chose this because
some form of conviction.
Want to save Wano. Yeah.
Like,
which I feel like we'll get at some. I feel like there's a good chance of us getting that, but
yeah,
I don't know, man. It's I'm both hype and sad for Momo.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. Like,
yeah,
it's not like this is really cracked out theory, but like the time fruit ? Shrug.
Yeah. It's still in play. We don't know what happened to it.
It is, and we're like grasping at straws, admittedly, specifically because like
Oda's been so secretive with it.
He's been secretive about it, but like we want to see Momo still have some modicum of a childhood, in the same way that like Otama and Otako are gonna get that, but like it's fucked to exclude Momo out of that in some sense, just because he's like the crown prince.
Yeah, it's man, I just can't wait to see. What I would want as well is I just looking at what he said like last chapter, talking about like, oh, make me like age me up, like I need to be big, like just that alone, asking that of Shinobu, and then seeing the look in his eyes, like from this chapter, I do like that like I feel like he's finally reached the, I guess not even like the, I guess acceptance is the right word. He used to always hate his dragon form. And I like that the entire crux of this, like, make me bigger, is because he realizes, like, he can use the dragon form that he has to help. Like, he can use it for good. He doesn't have to be this evil dragon like Kaido. Like, he is Momonosuke, you know, Kozuki. He is, like, the future, like, shogun of Wano. Like, he is going to be the leader of Wano.
Like,
so like in that sense, I'm like, yes, I do like that now there is some confidence of like, yeah, no, I am a dragon. Like that's me. That's what I am. I'm a big dragon. Like I'm gonna use this power to help, you know,
the ownership,
take my country back.
The ownership and the agency that he's like employing is something that's actually like it's the positive in this.
Yeah.
Because like his whole, like their whole shit, they're fucking scarred. All of Wano, they're scarred. And because of this like cumulative trauma, like him replacing the symbol of fear as a symbol of hope, it's exciting. That aspect of this all is exciting.
Yeah. And I have seen on Twitter and just various places, but I've seen the theory. Yeah, no, it's not. So there's a lot of racism. No, I've seen for a while now, like people of, you know, like who's the next Straw Hat? Who's the final Straw Hat? And like, you know, we've been like to some extent like, yeah, okay, Carrot. I would be okay with Carrot. I've come to terms with my furry side. I'd be okay with Carrot if she joined. I don't think she's going to, but if she did, cool.
Yeah.
And then Yamato busted in, and I was like, dude, if Yamato comes in, like, let's go. And I've seen people be like, oh, like, before the events of these past couple chapters, people be like, oh, like, Momonosuke is going to tag along. And at first I was always like, well, like, no, he's got to, like, rule Wano.
Yeah.
But also, like, seeing this stuff now, I'm starting to think like, well, hold on, because he is now another person who has read his father's journal,
right?
And I feel like that information is vitally important to the Straw Hats,
especially like even if it's like a temporary sense. Yeah. And he does have a contribution to them in that his like voice of all things is much more powerful than Luffy's.
Yeah, he's actually able to, like, give commands to, like, he's able to talk back to the things that he hears. So, I don't know. It's either, where I'm at right now is like, okay, we either have one big hunky dude who can turn into a mythical fox, who's the son of Kaido. We either have him join, or we have another newly hunky dude, who is just Kaido 2, but pink. Right.
Kaido but pink and not fucking bioessentialist. Yeah. There's so much to take into consideration after this chapter. This one's
for sure
a thinker.
Yeah. Final thing I'll say is just I do hope that I hope Kinemon is not like fully dead. Kinemon or Kiku. Because I would like a scene of them seeing Momonosuke.
Oh my dude, come on, yeah.
Like I would like a scene of Momonosuke like saving them or something, and then like in their like half dead state, like they think it's Oden, and then he's like, "Oh, like I'm like, are you guys okay?" And it's like, "Oh, yes." I would like for them to be able to see Momo's like as an adult.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like that, especially for them, for all of the retainers, but for Kiku and for Kinemon specifically, I feel like that would be like so good if Kinemon's still alive to be able to see that.
Dude, I'm to the point where like I don't really care about like lore implications or like how the fucking like online space will like like handle this, but like fucking Oda, soft confirm heaven. Have them look down from heaven and gaze upon Momo.
Literally, Oda, I want a recreation of the part 4 opening breakdown, the final opening for part 4 of JoJo's, where at the very end in the actual like final chorus of the song where it's like 1999 take you higher, and like it shows all of the dead people of Morio like pointing their fingers down to Josuke and like, oh, you're the one, like you could save us,
dude.
I want that, but like all of the retainers with Momo.
Like, and again, it's exciting because the theme of inheritance is very like it's compelling, but there's like tragedy to this. It's so like bittersweet. This is cool.
Yeah. Honestly, speaking of part 4, and I'll end it with this, like I feel like the ending of part 4, the vibes from that ending is gonna be how Wano ends. Like Dressrosa as well, but like Dressrosa turned up to 11, where it's like, yeah, we won, but like at what cost? Like we like, you know, like like, yeah, we beat the bad guy, but like nothing's ever going to be the same after this, like in good and bad ways. And it's like, shit, this is heavy.
There, we'll end it off there. That'll be it for us this week. I don't know if we're on break next week because Shonen Jump English Viz has made it a little harder to fucking play the guessing game.
They've drawn their line in the sand. We're not on break next week. There is 1024 will be next week.
Okay. So we'll be back with 1024. And in the meantime, if you want to join our discussions, you know, we got a very lively Discord. Links to that, the permanent link, sweet, simple invite link. All of that is on our social media. We are at Paramecia Cast on Twitter, Paramecia Fancast everywhere else. That includes Facebook, YouTube. Those are the only ones, actually. Our episodes go up every Monday? Yes, every Monday.
Every Monday following the official Viz release on Sunday, unless they change it, which sometimes they do.
Sometimes they fuck with us, and they do change it. But that's rare and few and far between. Our episodes first go up to parameciafancast.libsyn.com, and thereafter they go straight by the magic of the internet to your podcatchers, your Google podcasts, your Apple podcasts, your Spotify podcasts, your iHeartRadio podcasts, your YouTube podcast. Surprised that they're not doing that. Facebook podcast. Don't think we're there yet. Don't want to be. Stitcher podcasts. Grinder podcasts. We're everywhere.
Y'all got Super Nintendo? We're on there. But yeah, I can't think of anything else. Like and subscribe. Leave reviews. They're always funny to read. One of these days we'll read some out on the show because they're fucking, you guys are the best.
Oh man, that'd be a good break week episode to start out a break week.
That'd be good.
I don't have a crack theory, and I really desperately wanted to end this episode with an hourly suggestion of Dance Gavin Dance. But the last suggestion I have received on this giant thread is The Bunny the Bear. Is that the band? Or yes, that is the band. So maybe that's how it works out. Oh, hey, I got a new follower, I guess. I don't know why.
Hey, I have a new follower. It's Dance Gavin.